Peace, everyone. Even if you come on or you don't, first of all, my name is Toni Hickman, and I am doing a show called Toni Hickman Presents on Instagram Live. And it's basically where I invite people who inspire me and invite them onto my platform. Most of the people that I invite, their platform is actually bigger than mine, but it's a little bit different because I have hip hop and everything added. Candace the King, I just want you to know I have not forgot about you. I think about it and then it leaves my mind. We have to connect, and I know that, and I'm gonna text you after this live. But I am about to bring on my guest. I need y'all to listen to what this man has to say. Beautiful soul. So we're just gonna get right into it. His name is Jerome Shaw. And I have invited him in, so he should be coming in very shortly. And I think I see it coming in. How are you, my brother?
Hey there, doing well, Lieutenant Hickman. Lieutenant.
Oh my God.
Lieutenant.
Oh my God. Yes, that is my new title. Yes, thank you.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for this, for having this moment. I want to make sure, am I coming in clear for you, Toni?
You are wonderful. Perfect. I love the orange background, all of that. We're good.
It's clear?
Yes,
All right.
everything is good.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Lieutenant Hickman, when did that role hit you? When did you get that role?
I would say probably like a month and a half ago.
Okay.
Something like that. It kind of came out the blue. I've never been an actress before in my life, not in school, none of that. So it was fun. It's been fun. It's coming out New Year.
Awesome.
So yeah.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes.
You look like a superhero in that poster.
Yeah. The photographer is amazing. He made me look good. Vernonia Starseed is in the building. A Healing Place is in the building. I love y'all for coming on. And like I always say, even if you missed this, it's going to be on my Instagram for a couple of days, but we will have it on YouTube permanently after that as well. I have so many questions for you, Jerome.
Okay.
Yeah. So first, can you tell everybody who is watching, even if they're not watching, can you just tell them who you are?
Okay. Thank you so much. My name is Jerome Shaw. I'm a seeker. I enjoy learning. I enjoy having these wonderful conversations. I enjoy just having conscious interactions with other people, and learning more about myself through others. So this has been a wonderful time to project and put out positive messages on your platform, which you are doing as well. So, birds of a feather flock together.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I love it. I love it. Well, you did something pretty amazing recently, and when I saw it, I was like, dang, he couldn't stick me in his suitcase or anything. Like when you went to the silent meditation.
Okay, Vipassana. Yes.
What is the name of it?
It's called Vipassana.
Vipassana. Can you explain that?
Yes. So it was a 10-day retreat, and we were meditating for 10 hours a day for 10 days, in like a lockdown location. It was called the Intermountain Vipassana Center in Lava Hot Springs, Idaho. And that was an experience. Yeah.
Wow. So 10 hours a day.
Yeah.
What was the gains and the distractions?
Well, I learned that I don't need much to be distracted, because when we were there, Toni, they took away all of our technology. So they took away our cell phones. We had no journals, no music, no entertainment. There was no writing, no talking, no touching, no physical contact of any kind, no sexual misconduct, nothing. You know, the section, it was sectioned off. So the men were on this side, the women were on that side all the time for the full 10 days. You didn't interact with the other gender. So it was just you and you know, for all 10 days, going to that meditation hall, sitting, you know, getting up, walking around, going back, sitting, you know, and it was over and over and over again. And it was just you, yourself, and your mind, you know? Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So what were the gains? Like what did you discover about yourself? The positives.
There were definitely things that were released, you know. There were
Mm,
definitely answers to questions that I had not asked. There was also a blossoming and blooming of imagination that I felt that I had lost for years. I'm serious. Like, it brought me back to my childhood in ways that were very emotional, because there were parts and aspects of myself that I felt that I had kind of blocked, or maybe had not looked at for so long, you know, when I was just daydreaming. And I felt like when I was younger, it was looked down upon to daydream. You know, they looked down upon me in class, like when my mind would wander, when I wasn't focused on, you know, the social studies and the mathematics and all the stuff. And I was, you know, in my own world. So I learned how to do that again. And I learned that, oh man, it's infinite. The imagination is infinite. Yeah.
that's awesome. That's so awesome. So I know we can't say negatives came out of that because it's just an experience. It's all an experience. But what parts did you feel that were, I guess they were more in the beginning, more irritating, or
Mhm.
uh, what parts of that process did you find disturbing in the beginning?
Well, disturbing only in the way that it was uncomfortable.
Yeah,
And
uncomfortable. That's the word I want to use.
right.
Yes.
And we were learning there while we were at the retreat. The main theme was to be equanimous and to sit with the sensations. So whatever sensations came up, we were tasked with sitting with that and not having the attraction of something good and not the aversion of something bad. You know, so we were
Mm,
trying not to avoid what we didn't want, but we also weren't trying to grasp and cling on to the things that we did want, you know, the likes and dislikes, you know, playing that game. So when sensations would arise, you know, I would just close my eyes and just keep centered, just keep that equanimous state. And I would just remind myself that these are just sensations. This is impermanence, you know, this too shall pass. These are things that will come up and that they will go away. You know, they will come in and then they'll dissolve. Learning
right.
how to do that in the moment teaches you how to do that in your life, because like they say, how you do anything is how you do everything. So
Right. So did you find that when you came home, it was more of a challenge to get back into that space that you were in?
it was definitely a learning curve while I was there, because I think around the fourth or fifth day while I was there, it dawned on me that there was no escape, you know? Like they say, Tony, everywhere you go, there you are.
Right.
You're who's looking at you when you look in the mirror, you
Right.
know? You have to live with yourself. So to be able to live with yourself is a really key thing, because for a lot of my life, there were times where I looked at myself in the mirror and I didn't like the person looking back. Like, that version of me was unsettling. There was a lot of things wrapped up in that version of me that I didn't like, or I wanted to take away or do away with or improve somehow. You know, like
Okay.
that idea of perfection.
Right.
And so I feel like when I got back, I was able to kind of let that go and just let it be as it is. That was another theme. They talked in Pali, so they said, "Satabudu," as it is, as it is. We kept
Mm,
hearing these things over and over, like a mental reprogramming, you know, to not as you want it to be, but as it is, you know. So that was a big theme, and coming back, that helped me ease back into society to allow things to be as they are. Yeah.
That's amazing. I want to do something like that. Like, I know I can benefit from something like that. I think that's going on my bucket list.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, I challenge people to do it. It's definitely, it wasn't a vacation, you know?
Yeah, it's you
It
digging
was,
into yourself.
right,
It's like you have no choice but, I guess, to just be with
right.
self.
You got it. You know, it felt like mental surgery, but you were on your own operating table. Like
Wow.
you're on your own operating table and you're giving yourself like mental surgery. And you know, you might feel like on day 4 or day 5, like you want to leave, but you might have like open wounds. You know, you're not fully healed. And like they say, you have to feel it to heal it, but you can't heal what you don't reveal.
Hmm. Oh, that was a deep one. You can't heal what you don't
Right.
reveal, but you can't reveal it to anybody except yourself. You're only dealing with yourself at the end of the day. So,
Exactly.
wow.
Mhm.
Yeah, that sounds powerful. And then, I've been keeping up with your journey because, first of all, everyone, thank you so much, everyone who has been coming in. But I have been trying to interview this brother since last year. And so we finally got him on. But I've been following your journey because before that, you went to Europe.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
How was that?
That was wonderful. You know, oh my goodness, where do I start? In 2 months, Toni, in 2 months, I felt like I seen more than in the past 2 years. You know,
Wow.
so it was a big, you know, I jumped into different cultures. You know, we went to Italy, France, Sweden, Switzerland, and Germany. So five,
Oh, wow.
yeah, in 2 months. Yeah. Mhm.
Wow.
So
That's so awesome.
it was interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. And you were out there for the Breatharian Festival, right?
Right. The Pranic World Festival that was in Cocore in Italy. So a province called Fabriano.
Okay.
Right. So Nicholas Pilartz puts it on, him and his wife, his partner, Rafaela. So they
Okay.
put it on there
I
in
followed
Italy.
them on YouTube. Yeah.
Right, right. So
Hmm.
both of them, they put on the Pranic World Festival, and I was honored to be one of the speakers there. They had me as one of the speakers. So that was actually a big manifestation. And you know about the law of attraction.
Yes. Yes.
You know about,
Yes.
you know. Mhm.
That's so amazing. Um, okay, so let's get into some more stuff because the reason I think you are a part of, I started watching the first video when I Googled liquidarianism, or when I started researching liquidarians on YouTube. Ironically, your face was the first one to come up. You and I guess one of your partner at the time. And I'm listening to y'all and I'm like, huh. Because I have done raw vegan, I've done, but I've eaten cooked too. And so I'm listening and I was intrigued. And then after you, I saw Ela Tom.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And so I'm just like, hmm. And so it was very inspiring. And it takes a lot of discipline to apply that lifestyle. I mean, apply those choices of consumption to your life. And eventually I started diving into it. So I watched one of your videos and I think this was for the last festival because the person who was interviewing you, she asked you what was the longest you've done liquids, and I think you said 9 months.
Right.
And I know Ela Time is like, if you do something for 10,000 hours, you've become a master, right? Right. And so I want to ask you about that. First off, how did you become, or how did you start on the liquidarian journey? What inspired you?
Okay. So definitely a catalyst, was a certain amount of pain because I had a partnership that lasted around a decade. you know? So to split off from that partnership, when we separated, it was like separating from a part of myself. It felt like a piece of myself, my identity was gone, you know?
Mm.
And so I had to like recoup with that. And it took time to really heal that and to really feel that and allow myself to feel that, because I was running away from that into a lot of, you know, guilt, shame, and blame games. And then I was also in a downward spiral of consumption. So, you know, with our emotions, sometimes we're emotional eating, you know,
Oh,
there's,
most of the
you know,
time, right.
right,
Mm-hmm.
you know it. So that was a lot wrapped into it. So there were many addictions and many afflictions that I was putting onto myself unnecessarily to, you know, just to cope with that. But when I found out meditation and I happened upon a group on Meetup, oh, what were you?
You see that? That's funny.
Why was that funny? Why'd you laugh? Yeah.
Because I mean we're just interviewing each other, so I find that funny. Kavani, yeah,
Mhm.
that's funny.
Oh, you were laughing at this one?
You see
Oh,
what she wrote? Yeah.
fridge full of cookie
No,
dough.
I was laughing at these two look like they should be married.
Oh, I didn't even see that. I didn't even see that one.
That's what I was laughing at.
Beautiful.
Yeah, we just
Beautiful.
have things in common. We definitely have
Yeah.
beautiful things in common, and I love that. But continue your story. I'm sorry, that when I read that, I was like, what?
Oh,
Where did she come from with
oh,
that? Okay.
blessings from the chat. You know, your
Yeah,
vibe
yes.
attracts your tribe, you know?
Right,
Your
exactly.
vibe attracts your tribe. So just like we say, you know, birds of a feather. That's funny.
Right.
So that's cool. But yeah, so when I discovered meditation from a meetup group that I went to, Tony, this was in Pasadena, California.
Okay.
One seminar, and from that seminar, they allowed me to stay at their center. You know, it was called the Barwa Mindfulness and Detachment Center. And monks
Hmm.
and nuns from Myanmar. So they were all from Burma. They spoke Burmese. And I went to their meditation seminar. I went to their monastery and I stayed with them free of charge. They didn't charge me anything. They opened their fridge. They said, anything you want, you can have
Oh,
it, do freely. You know,
wow.
they said, you can sleep here on the mat. This is yours, do freely. You know, come and go as you please. And they showed me love like I hadn't been shown from my family members, you know, who were in the area at the time. So it just melted my heart. I was like, who are these people? You know, like they don't even know me. I'm a complete stranger. So it just really allowed me to want to have that reciprocal energy and give back, because they were given to me so just from their heart, you know, from
Hmm.
principles that they operated on. So one of the days that I was there, I heard one of the girls told me about, do you know that there's these people that don't eat? Because their chief monk at the time, he had already been 2 years on liquid. So he lived a liquid
Wow.
style. Yeah, he all of everything he had was always blended and he would always have it in liquid form. And he had been doing that for the past 2 years, and this was 2019. So
Okay.
they told me about this and I said, What are you talking about? You know, but there was something in my mind that was ready to accept a new idea, you know? It was like
Yes, I do. Uh-huh.
it was like, even though this was introduced to me, it felt familiar. It felt like this is true. You know, somehow I believe this. This is real. I
Right.
don't know how this is real, but this seems like it could be possible. So I started, you know, doing my own research,
Yes.
found the same people, found Eli Tom, found
Right.
Yas Baheen, Ray Mayor, you know, Akai and Camilla, like all the people that were pranic practitioners on
Mhm.
the path teaching others. And I just went down the rabbit hole. You know, Morpheus, he gave me the red pill and I went all the
Okay.
way in there.
Yes. Yes.
So, yeah, yeah.
So, on that journey, when you first started, was that the first time when you did like 9 months? Is that the year or no?
So that year I did 3 months.
Okay.
So I was only going to do 1 month. I was just going to do one. And I thought that that was, you know, more than enough, because you know, these people were doing two, and then, you know, Ellie Tom had been on the journey for like, you
Yeah.
know, a couple decades. So, right.
Right.
So I was like, okay, I can at least do 1 month. And it was funny because the months at the time, the people around me, they, you know, they wanted to give. They were always taking donations and giving donations. So there was a give and receive all the time. And they wanted to feed you. They wanted to make sure that you had enough. And they said, you know eat? You know eat? And I was like, no, liquid only. I told them liquid only.
Mm-hmm.
They said, how long? I was like, just 1 month, you know, thinking that that was small. You know,
Right.
they said, oh,
Right.
that's too long.
Right.
That's too long. So I took that as a challenge, you know, being a gamer, having a background where I take challenges, you know, and I conquer
Mm-hmm.
challenges. So I've conquered so many challenges in my mind. I was like, how about I do this with my body? Let's see how long it will last. So I started, you know, 1 week went by, 2 weeks went by, no solid food, but I still had solid matter coming out of the vessel. You know, I still was excreting solid things,
Right.
and it was blowing my mind as time went on, the levels of detox. And as the more and more I detox, the more light, the more energy, the more abundance of everything that I thought that I lacked, the focus, the clarity, the being on point, the making decisions, being decisive, being determined, being driven, having passion, having enthusiasm, having, you know, conviction in my words, the things that I wanted to do, and having purpose. And, you know, for everything that I was just going like arrow, you know? So it was like ready, aim, fire. And it was in so much abundance that I can say that I was afraid to go back, you know? After 1 month, I didn't want to go back to eating.
Because
I was
you
like,
were
if I feel this,
high on that feeling.
exactly.
I know. Yes.
Yeah. So it was so much that I honestly didn't want to go back. So that's when I did 3 months instead of just 1 month. It ended up being 3.
Okay.
So I did go back and had the up and down roller coaster, but it's been a journey, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I get that. I've done probably, I say it's probably been like close to 8 months for this year.
Mm-hmm.
But in between that, I've eaten. So it has, but consistently, I probably did about like 4 months consistently.
Yeah.
But then afterwards, you know, I would eat and I'd be like, no, I'm gonna go back to liquids. Because immediately when I would eat, I would feel it was not like a weight, but the energy
Mm-hmm.
of everything just lower.
Right.
And it wouldn't be completely gone because the more you eat, you get used to that vibration,
That's
right?
true. Yeah. And
But
4 months, that's already amazing, Toni. You know, 4 months, there's people that won't go 4 hours, you know? You went 4 months. People won't go.
I wanted to do, and I'm still doing it. You know how you make up, I think you're like this because you're a Leo rising. But if I make a pact with myself,
Mm-hmm.
then I feel like I have to keep that pact.
Mm-hmm.
And so if I don't, I'm still disappointed in myself. And I'm not disappointed. Like, I know that's amazing. People thought I was crazy. And they probably still do. It's okay. But even now, one of my goals for 2023 is to complete the year.
Mm-hmm.
I have to do that for me. I'm not doing it for anybody else. It's only for my benefit and to know that I went through it and to see the transformations that come with that kind of discipline.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Yeah.
Because I love following your journey, Toni. Like the stuff that you give us, the Alika lessons, and then also the loaded fries at the falafel joint.
Oh.
You know, like, I was with you. I was like, oh, I know how you feel.
They taste so good, but they felt so bad. Oh my God. Yes. Yeah.
You said your son was like, what are you doing?
He told me that. He told me when I ordered it, he's like, you sure? I said, yeah.
That's what I want.
Yeah. I want the pain. Yeah.
Give me those ones. Give me the loaded fries, loaded up.
Look, one of I guess he's one of your followers. He said Jerome likes his chicken.
So they were ragging on me today because I put a post of myself from 2009, 13 years ago, and I put where I was talking all about, you know, hot wings and all sorts of stuff. I was eating so much, like they had me on the, what was it? The wall of flame. They called me the Wing King. So they had me on the wall of flame for eating
What?
the spiciest wings. I was eating so much, you know. I think I was eating for families. You know, I wasn't eating for myself. I was legit.
Wow. Were you overweight?
I wasn't, you know, and it's interesting because I did have a high metabolism. I was boxing at the time, so I was in the gym a lot boxing. So I would, you know, burn a lot.
Yeah.
But I mean, there was so much. I mean, what I didn't know was inflammation was all over. You know, I had inflammation all over my body, but you don't see it as what it is until
you stop.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay, I know I look at you and myself. One of the other things we have in common is we both are like considered more the thin side. Mm-hmm. So going on the liquid journey, and I know specifically, I mean, especially for women who are what they call it, big boned or thick, are what is in right now. And it's not to knock anybody, that's just, you know, what is in right now. And so when people would see me losing the weight, losing, you know, some of the or shedding the toxins, that's become a problem. And I wonder if you face that too, where people are like, oh, you're getting too skinny, or what has been your response?
That was a big one. That was a big one, Toni. So one of the toughest challenges that I ran into, and at the time I wasn't strong enough in my own vibration, in my own energy field to handle that wave of judgment when it came my way from my loved ones. You know, your family members, they want the best for you. They just want to know that you're taking care of yourself. And their perception is not your perception. So, you know, like they say, your mentality is your reality.
Right.
You know? So I was living in another reality, you know, blissful, you know, just enjoying myself. I'm walking miles and miles a day. They look at me and they're like, you look like you're
sick.
Yeah, like your body is eating yourself, you know, you don't look healthy. Can we send you money? Please eat something. You know, they had a whole intervention. So when that judgment hit me, I wasn't ready to receive it. You know, there's a story that the Buddha has about when somebody brings you a gift, you don't have to accept it. Yeah.
Right.
But I wasn't ready. You know, when they brought that gift, it was like, I didn't know how to reject it or, you know, reflect it. When they projected, it was like, oh, it just hit me, you know? So that was tough. And that kind of led me into another downward spiral that once I finally made my way out of that and came into just a full, like, radical acceptance of where I was and just my being, you know? I had to just completely accept myself and to love myself deeply in order to get out of that, you know? Because I was really looking at myself like, who are you? This is not who you are. So yeah, that can be a tough one. That was very challenging for me. I'll definitely say that. And it's different, you know, when you're on a new wavelength, you're operating in a new frequency bandwidth, and the people that you've known for years are looking at you like they don't understand, you know, and they're afraid for you because they think that you've completely changed, you've gone off the rails, you've lost it.
Right.
You have to just for some people, seeing is believing. So it took me to be around my family in close proximity for a time for them to see me operate and maneuver in the ways that I was doing, for them to say, okay, even though he's not chewing, you know, he's okay. You know, he's going to be fine.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I found that part interesting. And then even when I traveled, I think that was another, because I got skinnier when I traveled. But it was simply because in Houston, are in Texas, you guys probably have it where you are currently now, but there are fruit trucks everywhere in Texas, or in Houston at least, right? Even no matter what, I can go and get me a juice here. I can go get a juice there. I can make my smoothies. I've always had the convenience, but when I traveled, I didn't have that convenience and I wasn't prepared. But yeah, that one, I stayed the course, but that one was challenging and I lost a lot of weight. And I saw it in my face and I was just like, dang, you know, just that little bit. But then what I found also is that a lot of times when we battle weight, it's also dealing with the ego. There's nothing to do with the health of the body, but really it's the ego and how people see us. And that is more of the issue.
How do you feel you handled that issue? Like, how did you handle the ego when it came up?
I acceptance. I had to just accept it. Even looking at myself, because I did get skinnier. I had gotten skinnier. I saw it. But I also had to accept that I made those choices. I chose to do this and it's on me, and I can either dwell in the ego or I can work on myself and put the weight on that I want to, or what my body wants to accept when it's time.
Right.
But yeah, I lost a lot of weight traveling. I did see that. And so I think preparing for that is something like when I travel this time, I'm going to always have me a blender and everything that I need with me. So, yeah.
Awesome. Wow. So preparation, you know?
Preparation, because even with liquids, and then I wasn't doing, because I know there's a man on YouTube, I forgot his name, but he studied Hindu. You might know who I'm talking about. But he said how he would do like oatmeal and things like that. But I didn't want to do cooked. I wanted to also be on the high vibration of raw fruits and vegetables, and mainly fruits. And so, yeah. But so I didn't want to do cooked anything. But when I traveled, I did end up doing soup.
Yeah. That's soup seduction has been a big one too, you know, because even though the soups were still liquid, you know, they took the shape of their container.
Right.
The soups were so seductive because of the salt and the sodium.
Exactly. Exactly. And I had one and I was like, oh my God, this is so good. So yeah.
Wow. So you've been through it. You've been through it, Toni.
Yeah, I mean, down to even this month, like I said, in total, I've probably done 8 months. I started eating more toward the end of this year, and it still hasn't been straight. I would still do days where I would just be on liquids. But I stopped counting after I slipped up. And honestly, I think it was longer than 4 months. I think I might have made it to like 5 or 6 even, because I just stopped counting. I didn't want to keep tab.
Right.
That's how my brain was, like, you know.
And I've found as well that when we don't keep tabs, sometimes we go further. A lot of times we go further when we don't keep track.
Right.
Because it's like there's a saying, and I'm sure that you've heard this, Toni, but it's almost like the one who enjoys walking will go further than the one who enjoys the destination. You know, who enjoys
who's looking for the destination. All right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I get that. And you know, that's another thing with you. Like I said, I watch you on your shorts and everything, but I love your rhymes. You come up with these poetic rhymes and you post them and you're playing your flute, and I'm just like, oh, very dope.
Well, I mean, of course, you're an artist.
Yes. And so I really appreciate seeing the talent.
Yeah.
And it's so organic and authentically you. Authentically you. Like no one could duplicate that, because that's you. That's your identity. You know what I mean?
Blessing.
Yeah.
I'm glad,
but
you know, I'm glad. I'm glad you received the energy. You know, I take my flute wherever I go. You know, it stays with me, and it's a reminder. Somebody told me, Toni, about the flute. You know, the music that comes out, because it's like the breath. You know, the flute itself, it's empty. So it's like when it's a reminder, when you're empty, beautiful music can flow through.
Wow.
When you're empty, you know? Yeah. So
So before we get off this live, maybe you can play for us before we get done.
oh, sure. I love that.
Okay.
I love that.
Yeah,
Sure.
I think that would be beautiful.
Yeah.
So what are you on now? Are you on strictly liquids? Like, what are you? You are.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And how long has this been, this round?
This time, I believe since May or April, it's been over 200 days. I haven't been counting. I had something that I was in the beginning, but like yourself, I stopped counting because it didn't matter. I just wanted to make it a lifestyle, so it wasn't like I was looking for a finish line or somewhere where I wanted to arrive, but to just continue to thrive.
Yeah,
you know?
definitely. Definitely. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. And your skin is beautiful. Like, you look very good. So yeah. So
You know,
go ahead. Go. Mm-hmm.
sharing your journey, because you've been on this journey, and I feel like there's so many people we don't even know about who are practicing this way of living, but the difference is in what they're giving to the world in terms of like sharing their journey. So what made the difference for you to say, I don't only want to live this, but I want to give this. I want to show others what's possible. I want to put this out there as a message and document my journey to let somebody else know. What happened there for you?
And to answer part of that too, because even what you said when I shared my falafel fries, I think on this journey, no matter what journey we end up on, we have to monitor our ego. And so even when we stick to these paths, what I felt is it was so important, even though I didn't want to share sometimes. I felt the need to just let it be and let people think whatever they want to think. But then I thought, I want to be completely honest in this journey. So if anybody else is trying to start this process, or even if they're inspired by it, then they can see, look, I am making mistakes. It's not a perfect science. I don't have it down to a perfect science yet, but that's the goal. Yeah, but I like I said, you were one of the people that inspired me. You were probably the first person that came up. But there was a point when I said I would never do raw vegan. And then I did raw vegan. And then when I was raw vegan, I said I would never do liquidarian. And then I did liquidarian. And I love it. Like, I love the energy that comes with it. And so, yeah, I found the challenges, especially now that I'm in this web series. Everybody goes out to eat, but I've told them my plans for the first of the year, which is to go completely back, because I have a salad waiting for me downstairs right now, because I just came from that. And so, and it's okay, because as much as communing around food, it has become a norm for us. I'm comfortable with breaking that norm and being a part of that. And so I like the feeling, and that's all I need. I'm one of those people, once I see something I like, just like I gravitated to this web series I'm about to be in. If I see it and I find that it's something that it's going to do for my spirit, then yeah, I'm going to hop on it.
Yeah.
First, right?
I love that. It's it's so reminiscent because Toni, since you know you're an artist, you know, so you got that music is in you.
Yes.
When you see something that you resonate with, you harmonize, you know?
Yes, yes. It's automatic, and that's what the liquids were for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the breathing, and then because I've been meditating faithfully, regardless. I don't care. And I have a busy life sometimes. It never slows, but it might get slower than usual, but it never completely slows down. And so, but no matter if I get in late or, you know, no matter what the time, I make sure that I come and sit in my space and meditate and calm my brain. And so I've been doing that faithfully now for, I would say at least 2 months.
Beautiful.
Like not skipping a night. It's been times where I was like, maybe I can skip, but then my conscience is just like, nope, because you don't want to start setting that pattern.
Beautiful.
So,
Beautiful. Yeah, I usually always do meditation in preparation for these conversations, you know?
Y'all caught that rhyme. Did y'all catch that rhyme? Did y'all see that rhyme again? He did it again, y'all.
Because you know there has to be a rhythm, right? There's
Right.
always an inhalation and exhalation. You know?
Yes.
It's like the mother of all creation is relaxation. You know, station, you change that radio station, right?
You know what? I'm just listening to you, and you know what? You're gonna say some stuff on my next project because I'm just need you to say some stuff on my project because it just flows so naturally from you. Yes, he said he keeps rhyming. Yes, he does, and it's not just rhyming though. It's also food for the soul, and I think that is so important. So yeah.
Blessing, you know, and thank you once again, like you said before, for showing people that authenticity. You keep it raw, you keep it real, you know, so you could call that raw authenticity.
Raw authenticity. Yeah.
Raw authenticity. You keep it raw authentic,
right.
You know, you're showing people the ups and the downs, the good, the bad, the ugly, you know, like people say, and you've heard this, Toni, like even your battlefield could be a blueprint for somebody else.
Right.
You know, like
right.
your test, what you've been tested by, that could be a testimony for somebody else.
Exactly.
And what we consider our mess in life could be a message for somebody else. So I feel like when I listen to you at times, like you've had so many people instilled within you, like the Brian Tracy's, the Les Browns, the Abraham Hicks, like all that. Would you agree?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Yeah, my mother kind of started that journey with me. She made me read James Allen, and I was young. As a Man Thinketh. She made me read that. Like I know I was probably 8, and she made me read that whole book.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. What did that do for your consciousness at that age?
I never knew. I thought it was normal, so I didn't acknowledge what it did. But I will tell you, growing up and becoming who I am, which I'm this person, I don't care what obstacle you put in front of me, I feel like I can overcome it or find a way around it, or, you know. But even in the music industry, or just the idea of someone following their dream or what they're put here to do, their purpose. I've realized that a lot of people didn't have parents like that, but I thought it was norm, so I didn't know any difference. You know what I mean? Like, I just never knew a difference. I thought that was just something that was supposed to be done, you know? Yeah, but it did amazing for my I'll be damnness.
Oh. Ooh. Ooh.
You know, it was just like, no matter what, and for some of, because I know we have some people on here who are from your channel, your page, but for y'all who don't know, I am a survivor of 2 brain aneurysms and a stroke, and was told that I would never speak or walk again. So you can imagine a person who is considered a person with a disability, because I am still partially dealing with paralysis on my right side. But who would have thought, under the concept, a person with a disability would be interested in becoming a liquidarian,
Right.
or even attempting to go on that journey because of the concept that is behind what people believe or think about people with disabilities. Yeah.
Wow.
So.
Wow. So, you know, you lived through it. You've lived through it. You know full well, like, you know the power of the mind, you know?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know that no matter what, like, we have to love ourselves through the process. Because just like you said, even with the liquids, about someone walking versus always looking for the destination, that's kind of the world that we live in, right? Because everybody is looking for the destination and can't accept the process of their own life. So even if I may walk with a limp and I have a concept in my head about healing, every day I get more, or I get closer to the healing, doesn't take away from the process of getting there. Yeah.
Oh man, that's powerful. That's powerful. Thank you. Thank you for that. You know.
Yeah.
That's the message. Yeah.
Yeah. So so what are your goals now? I think you're in Texas right now, right?
I am.
Yeah. And when are you leaving?
Who knows? I don't know. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Then okay, I didn't know if
There.
you were on a time limit. Yeah.
Yeah, it's up in the air at the moment. I'm just moving freely.
Right.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's so awesome. Yeah. Very cool. Well, we have to meet up. We'll meet up before. San Antonio is like, I think it's like 2.5 hours from here.
Yeah, like 3 hours. It's a bus ride.
It's 3 hours. It's a bus ride, right. Okay. So yeah, we need to make that happen before you decide to leave Texas. Yeah.
H-Town is going down.
H-Town. Oh my goodness. Yes. Yes. Yeah. I don't know. Does San Antonio have a lot of fruit trucks? Have you seen?
It might have as many as Houston.
Okay.
It might as Houston. I don't see them in like abundance where I am, but yeah, you know, we find ways.
Okay. We are 10 hours away, Jerome. I am in El Paso. Oh. Yeah.
Oh, George.
So does anybody in the anybody in the chat, do you guys have any questions you want to ask Jerome or me?
And I also love what you've been posting as well, Toni, on your story. There was something that I seen you put, I think it was like Dr. Sabi. He said something about
the anger.
That too.
Okay.
But he said something about what's eating you, you know? And you said something about like what has been eating at your soul. Remember when you said that?
Right. Yeah, well, I said that when I was talking about the video of you coming on. Okay. Right. Okay. Because we all have these concepts of who we are, what we want to do, and it's so easy to talk ourselves out of attacking what we know we need to do for our elevation, our own elevation.
And going into 2023, which what you said with the numerology is the 7, you know, you put the emphasis on number 7, which we're doing this at 7.
You know, and I didn't notice that until I said 7. I was like, dang, I've been doing it at 7 all the time. But yeah, yeah, 7 is a divine number. Yeah.
So
So
what does
even
that
go
mhm.
ahead. What you say?
Yeah, what does that mean for you? Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, I saw we had a question, but it went away. Um, what, as far as the number 7 or as far as 2023?
Both. Yeah.
Mm. Well, I know that the number 7, and because we both grew up as Seventh-day Adventists, irony again. But of course, they say that the Bible says that the seventh day is the Sabbath. And so the seventh day is already been established as a holy day or a day of rest. And as far as the Bible is concerned, but even furthermore, 7 for me, anytime I catch it in my life or as I see it add up in my life, it's either I'm about to go through another spiritual awakening, I'm about to receive a lot of spiritual blessings, or meet new people that are going to be a part of my elevation journey. And
Okay.
so, 2023 has been, I believe that we all are going to be going that route. We're going to start the process of shedding.
Mm.
And that part is going to be uncomfortable for a lot of us because as we shed, we get to see ourselves like you saw yourself in that method. I need you to name it again. What is the name of it? When you went away for 10 days, what's the name?
Yeah, Vipassana.
Vipassana?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the Vipassana, where you went away in silence, I think 2023 is going to make us see the mirror.
Mm.
But if we face the mirror of ourselves properly and we work on not denying our mirror and the things that we need to correct,
Mm-hmm.
I do believe that it will change so many things that we need to attack within ourselves.
Okay, so we accept the reflection, we don't deny the correction for that deeper connection.
Oh my God. Yes. Say that again.
That was just my impression, you know?
Oh my goodness. Listen, this brother is amazing, y'all. He gonna have the rhymes, the authentic soul touching rhymes for days. Peace, I'm Ray. Oh my goodness.
Oh,
Yes.
oh man.
Wow. That was powerful.
So going into 2023, it sounded like when you were talking about the number 7, that it was like, okay, new opportunities, new things, new growth. So it's almost like lucky number 7. Like when you see 7 in the casino on
Yes.
the slot machine, like jackpot,
Right.
you know?
Jackpot. But I think it's not just luck. We also have to face ourselves.
Yes.
Like you might get luck, but in the process, you're going to still have to face another part of yourself in order to elevate. Yeah.
Right. Right.
That's what I believe.
Right.
I know there are things that I still have to tackle within myself. Like my schedule is getting bigger. It's getting busier. So balance is everything.
Yeah.
And sleeping properly and focusing on my exercise properly.
Okay.
Because sometimes I don't. I'll put everything else first. But I'll exercise. I exercise every week, at least twice or 3 times a week. But I used to do it every day. And when I did it every day, I saw everyday results.
Okay. Okay.
So that's just one of my, I guess, the challenges that I have to get past.
Yeah.
What about you?
I love how you said that, Toni. When you did it every day, you saw everyday results.
Right.
You know? It's like, what do they say? Repetition is the mother of skill. Consistency is the DNA of mastery. You know?
Again, what is the DNA of mastery?
Consistency. You know?
Consistency. Yes, exactly.
It's like the key that opens all the locks. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And that applies to everything in life, right? Yeah.
Sure. For sure.
So
Yeah.
what are your intentions for 2023 and the corrections that you want to share that you may need to add in your own life?
Hmm. I definitely agree and am on the same page when it comes to continuing to raise my vibration with the different practices that I have. So the different things at our disposal that we have, like we talked about meditation, we talked about, exercise, like you said,
Yes.
also continuing to breathe, continuing to be in nature, continuing to have these collaborations and these conscious conversations. I think this is going to be the best, to just continue the trajectory already. And it's like, if it's not broke, don't fix it,
Right. Definitely. Yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. Definitely. Well, uh, is there anybody in the chat right now that has any questions for us? Because I'm going to ask this brother to play his flute in a minute. So do you guys have any questions, any statements that you want to share with us? And thank you everyone who has come on. I know 7 might not work for a lot of people, but I do appreciate everybody coming on here now. Do you have anything you're promoting right now? I know you have a book out, right? Don't you have a book out?
I do have a few books out. So a couple are also in my bio. So if you follow me at Jerome Shaw on Instagram, you'll see all the links in the bio there. One of them is The Pranic Path and How to Grow It from the Mind of a Poet. So that's a poetry book about the pranic path and the journey
Okay.
and the things I learned, all the lessons, like
Right.
Alika lessons,
Right.
That's that one. Then there's another one about fasting in particular, So those are 2 books on Amazon right now. And then what I'm really promoting lately is I'm making a storehouse of information, just cultivating conscious content for people on the pranic path. And that's actually patreon.com/pranic path. So letting people go there if they'd like to learn more. Yeah.
Okay. And if you want to send me that in the inbox afterwards, and then I will put it under the video when I post it.
Of course. Of course.
You have someone here who has asked, are you still on liquids?
Yes, I am. Hmm. The journey keeps going. We keep going. Yeah.
Once you start this journey, it's like when you come off, you just, I don't know, it's almost like, it's not an addiction, but it's an elevated energy that is like, when you go eat, it's, I guess, because literally eating brings your energy down because you have to
You
digest.
start to feel it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You start to feel the difference. I mean, when I was very dense, I didn't know the difference. When I was living in the densities and those were my propensities, I didn't have the sensitivity,
I'm saying, do you just freestyle like that? Like, does it just come out like that? Or is this literally like, how does that work? Because I swear you've been rhyming since we've been on here.
Oh man, we both been rhyming, we in divine timing.
Y'all see what I'm
We
saying?
in alignment. This is
Alignment.
yeah.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Oh man.
Well, I'm going to ask you for the next couple of minutes, can you pull out your flute, and do you have any direction that you would like to add to the chat when they listen?
Sure. And are you sure you want to hear the flute, or you don't want me to just beatbox and you freestyle?
No, I want the flute. No.
She said, I want the flute. She said, I know what I want. I know what I want. Yeah.
Somebody said, ha ha ha, no better time for a rhyme than now.
Hey,
Absolutely.
Shout
And this guy is a rhyming genius.
Hey, shout out to Diana.
Let me see what else, if we have any more questions.
Much
No
love.
questions, Jerome. Just keep living the dream, brother. Beautiful.
Much love. Oh, the Biha, she said, Camilla said beatbox. But she wants to hear the flute. Vibing and divine timing. I love these folks. Toni, you got love on here. You got love. Yeah. Folks are really.
All beautiful. It's all beautiful. I'm so grateful y'all are on here with us. Just thank you for coming on and enjoying the conversation. And if y'all don't follow Jerome on YouTube, Great channel. What's the name of your channel again? Is it Jerome Shaw or?
Yeah, it is my name, Jerome Shaw.
Oh,
Yeah, so you just type in my name, it'll pull it
yeah.
up. Hmm.
Yeah, you definitely follow him. It's so it's very inspiring, and if you're interested in this journey, his video, one of his videos is going to come up immediately. But he has a lot more on there, and a lot of his shorts have the flute and his rhymes that are, like I said, authentically his. And so, yeah, follow his YouTube, and you can follow me at the real Toni Hickman on all social media. And how I like to say it is, it's not the fake Toni Hickman, but the real Toni Hickman. That's how you always know. Yes.
I love.
Okay.
All
So, I
right.
mean, if you want to beatbox, you can beatbox, but I don't freestyle. I'm not quick with the rhymes like you. Like, you just come out of your head. Yeah, no, I don't do that. But I want the flute verse.
She
Yes.
said the style ain't free. The style ain't free.
I really don't know how to freestyle. I've never been good
Oh,
at it. Yeah.
man. All right. All right. Okay, so I gotta calm my heart down because when the heart rate is up, you know, the breath.
Right.
You
I
gotta.
should.
Okay.
And thank you.
Of course. Blessing. Thank you. It's my pleasure.
Wow. Oh, oh, that was so beautiful. I hope y'all really enjoyed it. Like, that was so beautiful. Thank you. Thank you.
Blessing.
And
Gratitude.
thank you for your presence. Thank you for everything. Yes.
Gratitude.
On that note, I have nothing else. There's nothing else to be said. You just said everything with the flute.
I like how she did. Y'all said on that note. She said on that note.
On that note, right? Yes, yes, yes. So thank you, brother. I will have you back as soon as I can is catch up with you because I love your life. Keep living, keep being inspirational, and thank you for your energy.
Likewise. Likewise. I look forward to it. All
All
right.
right. Peace.
Take care. Take care.